It's set in 1811. So, but the story itself is actually really modern. You have two people who fall in love, but they're both from very different social classes, and those social classes and their own prejudices and like sense of pride gets in the way of them being together. So you have the romantic male lead and the romantic female lead, and they fall for each other, but they don't let themselves be together for various reasons. And then they're surrounded by a cast of really kind of outrageous types of characters. This feels like home. The classic proscenium arch space lends itself perfectly to this story, and I love it. Like this is where I'm the most comfortable.
Elizabeth Bennet, she's very headstrong. She's opinionated. It's very hard to get her to back down. She's tough. She's tough under a pretty face, and that's me for the most part. But she does have a soft side. She has a really good heart, and I believe that's me as well. The differences would be, I am a little tough, but I'm not so quick to put my opinion out there. She's very quick to do that. There'll be a similarity and a difference.
Mr. Darcy is kind of a, he's got a kind of a tough guy, like straight up and down kind of guy. Doesn't really have the kind of personality that works well with others. He's kind of like stays to himself. And me and him, we are really different, but there are some things that I could pull out of him that I could maybe find some similarities and vice versa. But it's not really too much. It's not really too much that's similar between me and Mr. Darcy.
Yeah. And what would you say is like the major difference between you and Mr. Darcy?
He's rich. He's really rich. I'm not.
It's not just me directing. It's, I work with the actors. We rehearse 5 days a week. But in addition to me directing the actors and working with the actors and coaching them along, we have another team in charge of creating the costumes. We have the costume designer and then everybody who works for the costume designer. We've got the set designer and then everyone who builds the set, including the set designer. We've got a sound designer. We've got lighting designer. So there's a whole huge team of people to make something like this get on its feet, in addition to a cast of 26.
Yeah.
Hour-wise, hundreds. I don't know. I wish I could add it up someday so I would know exactly how much, but it's a lot. And we cast this back at the end of last semester, so we've been working on this all summer.
Okay.
Because I've never worked this hard, not only to get a part, but to maintain it, to make the character clear so that the audience can see a clear character so that they can really get a glimpse of who Elizabeth is. And the director is Kim. She's very helpful in that as well.
February, but this is my first actual full play that I've been in, and I went into it blind, so I did everything I could possibly do to give myself any heads up, and Kim helped me out a lot, our director, and my castmates. They showed me a lot of love and pointers and talked to me a lot about pointers I can do, tips here and there. So I appreciate everything so far.
Yeah, come see this show. It may sound a little bit old-fashioned, but it's actually a really contemporary story. And I think you'll appreciate Jane Austen in a whole new light. We have some non-traditional casting, and that's brought a different kind of energy to these characters. And hopefully that will spark a love for Jane Austen, and you'll all go out and buy her books.
My favorite line would be, "Nor do my fingers move over this instrument in the masterly manner that I wish them to. But then I have always supposed it to be my own fault because I will not take the trouble of practice."